Guys, what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at the Pena X Series Apache slip joint. So I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, where's the intro? We kind of got rid of that. We're trying something new here. So this knife came to me from one of the paying members. His name was Winston Cabretti. He sent this to me to review, and I put this in my pocket and I fell in love with it. That's why it's taken so long for me to finally get around to doing a review. This thing is done incredibly well. So now I'm going to put a spec sheet up over here so you guys can pause it and look at it. But the specs on this are pretty cool because this is another one, like Jack Wolf knives, another one of those knives that is really bringing to market slip joints that are what a slip joint really could be. Slip joints, a lot of times in the past, unless you were getting them from like Great Eastern Cutlery or something like that, they were a little bit iffy on what you were going to get. Sometimes they were punched blades with just, crappy thin steel liners. This is done in K390 and titanium with micarta inlays, burnt orange and black. Now, I believe that this was a Knife Center exclusive, but the fact is that it's not just showy and flashy. It is a very good showing for what a slip joint can be, along with, like you guys saw, I had that sway back, the laid back jack from Jack Wolf Knives. Great knives. I'm glad to see that there are some of these really nice slip joints coming to market. So let's talk about this knife a little bit. Give me a second. I am going to get our calipers and the scale because there's a couple of those specs that aren't on there. So we're going to look at blade stock thickness, behind the edge thickness, and weight. So give me a second. I'll get that stuff, and then we'll get into the good, the bad, and the ugly, as Nick Shabazz likes to say. All right, guys, let's take a look at this blade stock thickness and behind the edge thickness because I'm curious about it because it did cut really well. So 0.121, I imagine this is going to be 0.125 on blade stock thickness if I was to look online. And behind the edge is 0.027-ish. I can't tell how, I'm pretty far behind the edge. There we go. 0.024 behind the edge thickness, which doesn't surprise me because this cut really well. And this is a hollow grind that comes down nice. So that's going to stay at that thickness for a long time because of that hollow. So you're getting a lot of blade longevity with that hollow grind, and it is sharp, guys. So that's what I kind of figured. It is a little thicker blade stock than I kind of expected when it first came. I was kind of surprised at how thick it was. So, but yeah, nice behind the edge thickness on that. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way, and let's get the scale in and do some weight. All right, well, we got the scale in here, so let's take a look at the weight on this. I don't expect this to be heavy. I did see that they had a weight listed, and I think it was like just at about 2.5 grams. Or ounces, I mean, 2.5 grams. 2.5 ounces. So, yeah, right at 2.5 ounces. I think they had it listed at like 2.6. So right about 2.5 ounces is what I was thinking. Grams, you're looking at 75 grams. So this is something you're going to throw in your pocket that's not real heavy. The weight on this is really good, and it feels good in hand. So let's go ahead and get scale out of the way, and we'll talk about the knife in general.
I apologize for the interruption, but I do have to do this step-in thing because this channel is self-sponsored. If you guys would like to help support the channel a little bit financially, there's a ton of affiliate links all down below. There's also a merchandise store and some other stuff, but the affiliate links are what definitely does help the channel the most. Anything you purchase with those affiliate links, I get a portion of it at checkout. They don't charge you anything extra. So if you're gonna do a little bit of shopping, I would ask that you go down to the description below, find my affiliate links, and use them anytime you're doing any shopping on Amazon or Blade HQ. There's also a Coffee Brand Coffee link down there. So sorry about the interruption. Let's get back to the knives.
All right. I know, guys, we're already like way into this and we haven't really talked about the knife. So this is it's an old school slip joint done in modern materials. It has got a very stiff action, which is a good thing for a slip joint. This is not a knife that you're trying to flip open or one hand open. You're not going to put thumb studs on this. This is absolutely a two-hand opening knife. You have a half stop and then all the way open. And on your way back, you can hear it hit the half stop and then snap shut. And the reason that is because a slip joint, as opposed to a standard folding knife, has got a squared off tang on the end of that blade. So the way it works is there's just a spring here that just sits there. And so as you lift up on that, so your spring is positioned here so that there's spring tension down on that flat. And when you lift up on it, it cams around because the corners aren't sharp. You can see those corners are fairly softened over. And what happens is it allows it to cam up and over onto the flat and then up and over onto the flat again, and it locks in nice and tight. And so you have a knife that is pretty reliably shut, but has no lock. And the nice thing about that is this knife can now be sold anywhere pretty much. Locking knives are illegal in a lot of Europe, especially in the UK. So this is one of those ones that is like a world legal knife because you can carry this legally without having to worry about the fact now I have a locking knife. So they are really functional, really great. This one is done in, like I said, titanium orange, burnt orange micarta, and black micarta. In titanium inlays, and you can barely feel that. This knife, I carried this, let's see, it's been about a month now. I've carried this for going on about a month, I'd say, and I did use it a lot. The K390 held an incredibly good edge. It carries really well, especially like in a watch pocket. So as people call it a fifth knife or a change pocket, it's your watch pocket. This slides down in nice and neat, does not get in the way. If you carry it in your regular pocket, I will say I would get a leather slip that covers the whole pocket, or you wind up with it getting sideways. And for me, that just feels awkward. This, like I said, this is a knife that you could use out anywhere. I don't think anybody would say a word about it. Cutting cardboard with this was really easy. Like I said, I didn't have to resharpen this. This did get a lot of use, and the only thing I did was touch it up on a ceramic rod and strop it, and it came up pretty well. K390 seems to be a steel that is really, really, really resilient. This is only one of a couple knives I've seen come in it, but I'm really impressed with the durability of the edge. Factory edge on it was really good as well. These are made by Reat, by the way. So if you're a fan of Reat's quality, you're not going to have any issues there. So fit and finish on this is great. Comes down. You barely can feel that. I mentioned that in the Jack Wolf's knives too. You can barely feel that transition to the where the two pieces meet up for the back spring and the blade. So that is a really good piece of work right there to get it squared off and so clean and then married in so well. You can't feel any of the transitions on any of the inlays, on the spine where the titanium meets the spring, none of that. Inside, nice and clean. There's not a lot of stuff you got to worry about. You can just wipe this out easily with a paper towel that you've rolled up or a Q-tip. Size-wise, we can compare it to a couple things. Let me grab a couple knives. We'll do some comparison. I figured it would make sense to grab a couple smaller knives that you guys might have a point of reference on. So CJRB Rhea, you can see it's not, I think they are just almost identical in size, but this one is a flipper. A thumb stud flipper. So you're looking at pretty much same blade length, pretty much same handle length on that. So not a big knife. Let's go ahead. QSP Penguin, another knife that a lot of you guys might have that is a point of reference. Great. One of my most recommended budget EDC knives right here. Not much smaller than the QSP Penguin, maybe just a little bit. The Oxworks X, what did he call it? EDX Osprey. The Oaks Works, sorry, Eric Oaks. Really similar in size. And then for a comparison that a lot of people are going to see and know, you're looking at the Sabenza. So it's a good bit smaller than a Sabenza. This is a nice compact carry. So get this stuff out of the way. So the only bad thing I really have about this, because when you look at this knife, you've got a good overall package. It's something that's not going to raise a bunch of alarm bells and whistles. It doesn't have a pocket clip, so it's super comfortable. It's easy to carry in just about anything you're wearing. It cuts really well. It's not something, like I said, that's going to people are going to flip out. Oh my God, he flipped out. You know, some people get flippers mixed up and think that they're switchblades, stuff like that. So you don't have any of those issues. The only issue I really see with this knife is, for some people, it is really stiff. For some people, they're going to have, you know, it's not going to be as easy to open for some people if you've got, you know, diminished hand strength. If you were getting a child a first knife, this one's a little stiff. It could break in over time and get a little less stiff, but I think that's one of the only things. And the other one would be price. So these were $224 on Knife Center. And like I said, I think this was a Knife Center exclusive. So they're not a cheap knife. And slip joints have historically been looked at as a cheaper option, and this really isn't the fact. But the fact is that this is done so well that I think you're getting what you pay for. There's just a little bit of there's a little bit of a connotation of that slip joints are cheaper knives, and they really aren't. If they're done well, there's every bit as much work that goes into this as would go into something like this. It's just a different type of knife. So it's not like you're paying too much for the knife. As far as fit and finish, you can't go wrong. It is an amazing knife. And in use, I love a good slip joint, especially if it's done well, just because of the comfort level. A knife without a pocket clip. If you really want to know how comfortable the knives you own are, take the pocket clips off and carry them like that for a little bit. This thing is incredibly comfortable in hand. There are no issues with hot spots. It melts into your hand like butter, and it cuts so well. You've got such a good functional blade with this little Warncliffe style, sheep's foot style blade. And if you can't cut it with this, it's not like another knife is going to do a better job of it. It's a great all-around knife. I really love it. I'm glad Enrique has got a bunch of his designs that are coming out production style, because Enrique Pena makes amazing knives, and it's translated really well in this. Look at that, so clean, the lines on that. So guys, that's about all I got on this. Let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and talk about how you could support the channel, and then send you out about your day.
So there you go, guys. There was the Pena X Series Apache. This knife was a lot of fun. I really want to thank Winston for sending it along. I'm glad I got to see it. I love a really good slip joint, and this is one of the best ones out there. You got Jack Wolf's, you got this one. Any of the Pena X series, from what I understand, are great. And then some people have told me, like, oh, you know what you're talking about, the Benchmade Proper is horrible. I honestly think Benchmade Proper is a great little slip joint. My buddy Tito has one. It's an awesome little knife. So if you're looking for a good slip joint, this is not a bad option. Unfortunately, I do believe these are either discontinued or just currently waiting for the next run. So guys, that's it. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But you got to tell me what you don't like, or it's worthless, because I can't change that content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, or you will not get notified of all the stuff that I put up every day. Other ways you can support the channel if you want to, like I said in the interruption that I had in the middle of the video, I have a ton of affiliate links down below, especially the Amazon affiliate links. Anything you purchase with the Amazon affiliate links, I get credit for it. So if you're looking at a knife and you need some tools and stuff like that, just consolidate it all together, put it in your cart, and use the affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything extra at checkout. But I also have Blade HQ, Coffee Brand Coffee, and a VPN. Other ways you can do it, I have a membership down below that is tier-based. Pick the tier that gets you what you're looking for, but everyone saves $5 off my sharpening service, and everyone has access to my gilded server. And the final way is I have a merchandise store. It's on Ember Shirt Co. Go pick up some of my merchandise. Go pick up some of Joe Maynard's stuff. He just got cleared and is back to work. He needs, he's had some medical issues. So go pick up some of his stuff, but use my coupon code CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10% at checkout. And if you do purchase my merchandise, and send me a picture of it, I will put it in a video. So guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. It makes it easier to moderate the video, and I will see you next time.